today, we're going deep on the Drake Corsair, specifically all the controversy swirling around the changes they made to it. You know, the ones everyone's calling it a nerf. We've got a ton of forum threads just overflowing with opinions. Some people are saying it's the end of the Corsair as we know it. Others are saying it was bound to happen. So let's break it down and figure out why everyone's so riled up. A lot of players are really fired up about the changes CIG made to the ship. CIG decided to move 2 of the Corsair's nose-mounted guns from pilot controls to the co-pilot. And that might not sound like a big deal on the surface, but for a lot of Corsair owners, this is a major problem. They bought this ship specifically for its solo capabilities. And that's what's got everyone up in arms. People are saying it goes against the whole point of the ship. It's like they're forcing multi-crew gameplay when it wasn't really necessary before. And they're not even making that co-pilot role all that interesting, are they? It's no wonder people are unhappy. It makes the co-pilot feel like an afterthought instead of a real crew member. So, to be fair to CIG, they did give a reason for this change. They're saying it's all based on data, showing the Corsair was racking up way more kills than other ships. They basically said it was too powerful and needed to be brought down a notch. The forums are full of suggestions for other ways to nerf the Corsair. Some are saying just reduce the size of the pilot-controlled guns. Others are suggesting they mess with the capacitor limits to make sustained fire less effective. And some even think they should just fix the co-pilot's remote turret controls and make that role more engaging. So you can see why people are thinking the Corsair nerf is just the beginning. They're wondering what other solo-friendly ships might be next on the chopping block. It all comes down to this conflict between what CIG promised when they first sold these ships, back during the concept sales when they were marketed for solo play, and how they're being balanced now, years later. Players are feeling like their investment is being devalued. And it doesn't help that they can't just refund ships in StarCitizen. It's creating a lot of distrust towards CIG. People bought into a specific vision, and now it's all shifting. And now they feel like CIG pulled a bait and switch. The ship they paid for isn't the ship they have now. It's about respecting their investment, both the money and the time they've put in. We've seen this before. The 400i, the Redeemer, all had these big promises attached to them, and then they got changed in ways that left people disappointed. And some people are even starting to think CIG is doing this on purpose, nerfing the old ships to push people towards buying the new ones. I mean, game development's a process, right? Especially with something as massive as StarCitizen. Things are bound to change as they add new systems and the game evolves. The people who have invested so much in the game, they need to feel like CIG's got their back. Players need to know why these changes are happening. They need to see the data, understand the design. This whole Corsair thing also brings up another point. How do you balance a game with so many different ships and playstyles? StarCitizen's trying to cater to solo players, small groups, big organizations. It's a balancing act on a tightrope. Trying to find that sweet spot where every ship feels important without limiting how people want to play. And now you throw in those new mechanics, component-based damage, and engineering. The big worry is that CIG is relying too much on data. It can't tell you how much people love their ships, because at the end of the day, it's the players who make StarCitizen what it is. The decisions they make now are going to have huge consequences down the line. A lot of the forum posts we've seen are saying the same thing. They feel like CIG is putting their vision ahead of the player's enjoyment, and the Corsair is a perfect example of that, taking a solo-friendly ship and forcing it into a multi-crew role. And it's not helping that there's no real incentive to play multi-crew in the first place. No economy, no progression system that rewards you for grouping up. And then you've got the whole AI crew issue. CIG keeps saying they're working on it, but who knows when it'll actually be ready. And, StarCitizen being an alpha complicates things even further. Changes are inevitable, but the Corsair nerf was a big one. One minute you're soaring through the stars, the next you're hitting turbulence. Even the best intentions can go wrong. And CIG needs to be prepared to admit when they make a mistake. It's about finding that balance between their vision and what the players want. So after all this, where do you stand? How do you feel about the Corsair changes? about the future of StarCitizen. We're all on this journey together, and it's time to decide what kind of destination we're heading for.